Hello students, in this lesson you are going to learn the important components on the laptop motherboard, the Mosfets. In desktop systems, you can find the SMBS power supply to give supply to the motherboard. If the SMBS gets faulty, we can easily replace with a new one. But in the case of laptop, we do not have any SMBS power supply. We have only charging adapter and battery which has 19 volt and 12 volt respectively. Then how we get the power supply to the different sections? And the laptop motherboard needs the different supplies ranging from 19 volt to 1 volt. Then how this is possible? Here we have a wonderful component called Mosfet, metal oxide silicon field effect transistor, simply called FET, F-E-T. This is a one type of transistor. There are two types of MOSFETs available, P channel and N channel. MOSFET has three legs, drain, source and gate. The MOSFET actually acts like a switch. It will pass the supply from drain to source when we apply a signal at the gate. If we apply a signal or voltage at the gate, it will pass the voltage to source. If the gate signal is missing, no voltage will flow, thus act as a switch. The input can be either drain or source depending on the circuit it applies. On laptop motherboard, we can see the SMD version of the MOSFET. SMD means surface mount devices. Unlike the regular components, SMD devices is very small in size and it solders directly on the motherboard. That it has 8 legs. The pin 1, 2, 3 is called source. The fourth pin is gate. And the 5, 6, 7, 8 pins collectively called drain. This configuration applies to both P channel and N channel MOSFETs. The voltage regulator IC with the MOSFETs steps down the 19 voltage supply or 12 volt battery supply to the different supplies that we will learn in the later lessons. Come, let us learn how to check these MOSFETs with a multimeter. You have to check the continuity between drain and source. Select the continuity range on multimeter and in the case of P channel MOSFET, keep the red probe at the drain, multimeter at the drain and the negative probe at the source of the MOSFET. It should show between 300 ohms to 550 ohms. Check again in the reverse direction and it should show high resistance, that is no reading on the multimeter. That means the MOSFET is in good condition. If the reading shows continuity, that is less than 0 to 50 ohms, MOSFET is faulty. To confirm this, take the MOSFET out of the motherboard and check again. If it shows no reading, then the MOSFET is open or it shows continuity between 0 to 50 ohms, then MOSFET is short circuited. In the case of N channel MOSFET, keep the negative probe at the drain and the positive probe at the source. It should show the reading between 300 ohms to 550 ohms. The remaining checking is same as the P type MOSFETs. To identify whether this MOSFET is P channel or N channel, just look into the number that are printed on the MOSFETs. If the MOSFET, the number of the MOSFETs ends with odd number, that is 1357, then that the MOSFET is P-channel MOSFET. And if the number ends with the even number, that is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then that MOSFET is N-channel MOSFET. Actually, motherboard applies, the laptop motherboard applies these N-channel MOSFETs only. We can see the lots of N-channel MOSFETs applying on motherboard. Only this P-channel MOSFET has a role in a 19 volt and discharging sections.